Okay, so what is it that you think about, what is it about this particular couple that stands out from others kind of in the same genre?
So the couple we're talking about, Naomi and Knox, they're a very classic slow burn, very tropey, enemies to lovers and grumpy versus sunshine, close proximity. But
All the
the
hits?
baggage that come with it are actually very realistic to us. Like, yeah, it's tropey, but it's also relatable.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tales of Our Times. This is a show where we discuss the stories that move us, what makes them so meaningful, and why others could or should find meaning in them as well. This is not a spoiler-free show, so bear that in mind as you continue to listen. We tackle movies, books, comics, and more. Where there's a story, there's a reason to read. I'm your host, Amanda Stevens, and you're joining us during our summer special, Spicy Summer, where we take a microscope to different elements of the romance genre to try to understand what keeps it so enduringly popular. This month, we're looking at different relationship archetypes, with today's special being the slow burn romance. And here to walk us through what that means is today's guest, June. Welcome on the show, June.
Hello.
Is there anything that you would like to say to introduce yourself?
My name is June. I'm from Malaysia,
Mhm.
and I have been in Taiwan for way too long. Kidding, but yes, but
A
I've been here
while.
for a while,
Mm-hmm.
long while.
Yeah, yeah.
But I love it here. And I do read a lot, but I'm not typically, I'm a romance reader,
Hmm.
but I read romance a lot and really quick, but because I don't often process it. Like
Yeah,
it's more like a brain dump kind of thing
I
after work.
totally get
So
it. Yeah.
yeah, but I do read a lot of contemporary literary,
Hmm.
and I do read a lot of young adults and just or historical fiction.
Hmm.
And a lot of times I do pick up the slow burns in it, even if it's not the main
Like if it's the B
theme of it.
plot or something. Yeah.
It is the
So,
B plot, but it always gets me going.
yes. So, to that point, what story have you brought for us to talk about today?
Today I'm going to talk about this book by Lucy Score, Things We Never Got Over.
Which that is the name of the book. I feel like we should say that for sure, because it almost sounds like we're just about to start talking about the things that you and I never got over. But this is the
All
name of the
right.
book, like the things we never got over. So,
Yes.
this is a slow burn romance. And usually, what that means, if other people haven't heard, is that the relationship is progressing via baby steps, which a lot of people are familiar with slow burn today because a lot of Korean dramas tend to apply this kind of romantic pacing. And typically, it is pacing, but what that means is that highlights you look forward to are people holding hands. Admitting your feelings is going to be a really big step. And it takes a long time for the characters sometimes to realize their own relationships, but it kind of turns it more into like a yearning for expressing
Mm-hmm.
yourself. Now, do you think that that's something that we could look forward to in this story? Do you think that's a good description of the slow burn genre?
For sure. Well, although it's not so much of K-pop type, not K-pop, Korean drama
Right,
type,
right.
uh, but the elements or the core essence is there, like
Hmm.
the yearning,
Yeah.
little, the little glances, the
Hmm.
little touches that makes them kind of wonder, hey, am I in love with this person? Or
Right.
I kind of hate this person.
It's
So it's
also
that
kind of
push,
like a,
pull, and pull.
yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, it kind of reminds me of like a period drama almost. Like, I think that's another reason people really like that kind of thing. And when I say period drama, I realize it could mean things like Bridgerton, but I'm also thinking literally of like dramas and romances from 200 years ago, like the Jane Austens, where by
Hmm.
today's standards, they are extremely slow burn. The whole thing is just building up to
Yes.
admitting your feelings to somebody and deciding
Yeah.
to get married. We don't even see anything that happens between them besides maybe, if we're lucky, they kiss once and they're holding
Yeah.
hands. So,
Yeah. And at that period, it's usually, social the social restriction that
Mm-hmm.
makes them not be able to just jump up to each other and get it on.
Yeah, yeah. We don't
To
see
get it on
them.
right
Yeah.
away.
They don't like go into a side room usually. Actually, a lot of times it's not even
Hmm.
addressed. It's like not even a maybe it's
Yeah.
like a thought, but the thoughts are usually presented in, if you're reading a book, it might be in language like, I thought about all the things we could do together and then I got so embarrassed, and that's it. Like you don't really get
Yeah.
into anything like
Hmm.
especially
Hmm.
spicy. I guess that's funny we're
Yes.
talking about it for spicy summer. But yes, this is, if that makes you uncomfortable, then this is maybe the genre for you. If you're interested in romance. Um, but yeah, I guess so. I'm about to ask you to give us a summary of this story, things we never got over. But before
Okay.
that, just
Hmm.
like you to me, do you think there's anything else that we should know about this story before we get into that summary?
Um, yeah, I guess to preface it,
Mm-hmm.
it is a contemporary romance and
Mm-hmm.
like a classic chaotic small town kind of thing and it's
Ooh.
very tropey.
Uh-huh.
There are a bunch of them. There's
Yeah,
so many
you
tropes. So
dropped a
like,
couple of them at the start. Really felt like a greatest
yeah,
hits.
like they really put everything in, including the non-romance trail of
Mm-hmm.
the book. So that's something that's kind of absurd and not like fully grounded, but it's not to the extent where I can't see this happening at all.
Mm,
Like, or it's something that I'm able to look over it because it's
yeah.
just really fun to read. And it's not completely like brainless reading too.
Okay. Okay.
I actually annotated this book a lot
Oh,
because
wow. Really?
yeah. Because
Okay.
there are things that, there's kind of cool to talk about.
That makes me really excited to hear what it's going to be about. So then I guess, June, can you just give us a summary of what happens in Things We Never Got Over?
Okay, so this book is about our female character, Naomi. It started with her running away from her wedding, and she shows up in this really small town,
Mm-hmm.
also to help her evil twin sister, her
Oh,
estranged evil twin
very
sister. So like,
good. Okay. Okay.
so it's definitely like dramatic, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But before she ran away from her wedding, she has a typical, very I have a plan kind of life going on, and
Okay.
but suddenly she's stuck, broke, and exhausted, helping her out. So when she got into this town, she bumped into Knox, which
Mm-hmm.
he is in short like a rugged tattoo arms like biker, bearded, and basically owns the town because he won a lottery.
Oh,
And then
wow.
he started he invested in this town and started building the town that he grew up in.
Mm-hmm.
So he has, branded himself as, okay, no interest in getting involved with any sort of commitment. And
Yes.
he did not want to help Naomi because
Mm-hmm.
before Naomi entered the story or entered the town, her twin sister actually wrecked up havoc in the town.
Yeah.
Yeah, Knox being the one who's like kind of taking care of the folks, he's just
Mm-hmm.
really mad at her.
Yeah.
So
And she
he's
looks like a copy of her sister. So he's like, wow, you must be
Yes,
exactly the same.
yeah. And he's like, just because you change your hair doesn't mean I don't recognize you.
Yikes.
So like he's grumpy and she's sunshine,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
they annoy each other because they got the wrong start and they were just fighting constantly.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like a fun fight because
Yeah.
everybody else, when they found out that Naomi's not her twin sister, everybody loved her. And
Mm-hmm.
then Knox is like, what's happening?
Yeah. Like
So
her personality wins them over.
yeah, so slowly, like through a lot of town drama, Naomi found out that she actually has a niece that her twin sister abandoned.
Oh, cool. Her twin sister sounds like a real
So
winner.
yeah, for real, she
Mm-hmm.
won the lottery.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So she had to help raising the niece
Mm-hmm.
and also trying to keep herself afloat and dealing
Mm-hmm.
with her own
Mm-hmm.
past. And Noxon, on the other hand, although he's really successful in his businesses and, basically running the town, he has a lot of his own baggage, not so much from women, but
Mm-hmm.
actually from his own family trauma.
Oh, okay, okay.
So that's something that kind of separates it a little bit from the other, grumpy tropes that I've read
Yeah.
before. And also, we would find out that Naomi, she has a very typical habit of like wanting to fix everything, wanting to
Mm-hmm.
rescue
Mm-hmm.
everyone, but herself, like take
Yeah.
care of everybody
She takes
but
care of
herself.
everyone by herself. Yes, yes.
Hmm. And, that kind of warmth and kindness touched Knox, but also makes him afraid of this commitment or,
Commitment.
not anxious, sorry, very avoidant attachment. Yeah. The turning point is that Knox's little brother, whom he is a cop in that town, got shot
Oh my
almost
God.
like near to death. So yeah. And before that, they kind of had built up and saw like the goodness in each other, but not fully embracing it.
Yeah.
And that's when Naomi, her like caretaker kind of sense kicked in and just like, sit with me. I want to know. And Knox, for the first time, let it go. And that's the turning point for them. And
she kind of like coaches him through it and is like, I'm so sorry this happened to you. I'm a reliable person. I'm going to help you work through this.
Yeah, just kind of like took him in and gave him the emotional need that he never got satisfied with. And after that, they got on with each other.
Oh, nice. Yeah. And so then it fades to black, or it doesn't fade to black, but they become very close. Okay. So this one maybe stands out from other stories as well in terms of a slow burn that ends with a hot fire at the end of it.
Yeah. It keeps coming back. So
Okay.
And basically the last part, they start melting the iceberg in each other and finally like grow into someone that they know, hey, we can be in love with each other and accept each other's flaw and help each other grow. So the ending's really earned. And although I don't fully love the epilogue, like at the end of the book, I've almost felt like, okay, this is a little bit too on the nose, where you see a rom-com movie and I'm like, okay, we get it. I still think it's great in the sense how the character developed. It's really hopeful, and I think the realism part of it with a lot of small town fantasy actually makes it really fun to read and very romantic.
Well, and also, like you said, it's earned. So they've worked the whole book for this ending. So it feels at the end of it, like when they end up together, that this is what should have happened. Like this is the right ending for them.
Yeah, you feel like they deserve it.
Okay. Oh, that's so nice. I love when books do that, especially romance books. So let's start talking about romance in general then. But we'll keep it to this book for a little bit. In what ways do you think that Things We Never Got Over really exemplifies or maybe differs from other stories in the slow burn genre? Like for one thing, we just talked about like it does have some really spicy moments in the book where these two characters are getting very close.
Yeah, so like aforementioned small town, grumpy sunshine, and found family. These are very classic tropes in slow burn, but it leans into like the emotional labor very heavily. Like the push and pulls in those stories is not just about the sexual tension or oh, I hate you, you hate me, but the author actually dived a lot into how did that come from? Because in comparison to some of the slow burns that I just recently read, this is very well constructed. I could totally see how Naomi would be like as a person and her baggage. And I could see, I feel like Knox's character is especially well built on. Because what really differs from a lot of slow burn romances or, his baggage is mostly from his family and like multiple events in his family that led him to this. And it's very real because the relation is not straightforward. It's because this happened that has nothing to do with romances.
Yeah.
And not only with Naomi, but also with people around him.
Like everybody around him.
So, yeah, he's loved, but he also has a lot of issues to work with. So, like all slow burn, I feel like they do invest in character development a lot.
Yeah.
But this one especially hits harder because it's very relatable, and the relationship itself is built a lot through like logistics, parenting, and self-sacrifice.
It also sounds like they end up having to kind of face down or deal with a lot of these problems, because what you said there I think is really interesting in that I don't remember if we just said this in this interview or if this is from like talking to so many people about this at this point. A lot of people tend to read romance or watch it sort of as an exercise to turn off their brain, because the conflicts are usually like not that deep. So like somebody has like dad trauma or like daddy issues because it's like, oh, my dad walked out on my family when I was a kid, so now I don't trust men. And it's like a straight shot, right? Yeah. But it sounds like the way you described this book as like perhaps we had a difficult time with like finances, and so now I feel really insecure all the time, and I need to know that I have a backup plan with everybody that I have. And it's like not an immediately evident issue to outcome pipeline for each of these characters.
You're spot on that. Like, it's very real in the sense that that's how our real life actually works. For Knox, he's a super successful businessman in this town, but he didn't start off that way. He started off really rough because he lost his parents, and then very shortly lost his grandpa, and the whole family, his brother and his grandma, just kind of lost their hope and lost their love and connection for everything. And it's in this very long built up grief that he developed this avoidance because he feels like all the good things are going to go away.
Yeah.
And then when he won the lottery,
he invested it so it can't go away, right? That's exactly what he did.
Yeah, and he actually invested in the town, into the town itself, build the town out, like help the folks around. So these are things that, you know, really shows someone's character without saying it.
Yeah.
And it's unrelatable that he won 11 million in lottery.
Right. We have a little bit of like movie magic, so to speak, in the book.
Yeah. But it's also super relatable to see someone with that kind of personality would do that.
Yeah. So let me move on to the next question then. This is our second to last question, which is, why would you recommend somebody to read Things We Never Got Over? And do you think that it should be recognized as like a tale of our time?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, especially if you're the kind where you like romance, but with a little bit of more like character study, like you are interested in how the character grew and maybe like fell off grace, and that's emotional depth in it, because like also it reflects something very real, the baggage that we carry from family and just life falling apart. And also like Naomi and Knox, they show us that you don't have to be healed to be loved. You
or
just
like
have to be honest and willing, which is very hard nowadays, you know?
Oh yeah. But I also like when you say that, it also shows that like falling in love also won't necessarily like immediately heal your problems. Like it can help you start to address them, but it's not going to like be the magic fix. That's like, and now we're in a relationship and everything is better. Like it's maybe a first step.
Yeah, that's actually a really good way to put it, because that's exactly how the story is. They fell in love, but you know, for the longest time, they can't really admit themselves to it.
Yeah.
Or when they did, a lot of things that happened that kind of like tore them down, and they had to work through not just the crazy drama outside of them, but like actually work through what's inside of them. Like, I don't know if it represents the tale of our time.
Yeah.
In the way that it's iconic and important and life-changing, but it's a tale of our time as in it's very realistic or very timely in a lot of the issues that most people are facing today, and also with a lot of romances that they don't dive into the working on yourself part. So it's tale of our times in terms of timeliness. I would say that.
All right. Speaking of time, we are almost out of time, which is too bad. But the last thing I want to ask you is if you could give Things We Never Got Over a one-phrase subtitle of your very own, what would that be?
I would say healing takes time, but so does love.
Oh my God. Oh, wait, that's so sweet.
Well, this is a very sweet story with a lot of spice.
What? Sugar and spice.
That's everything nice.
Oh my God. Well, June, thank you so much for talking to me about this. That's one of the sweetest lines I think I've heard, especially for this month, which is crazy. But thank you. This has been so much fun for me.
Yeah, it's fun.
Well, and unfortunately, though, that is all the time that we have today.
Yeah.
So thank you to all of you out there for joining us here on Radio Taiwan International. This has been a spicy summer version of Tales of Our Time. I was your host, Amanda Stevens, with today's guest, June. Thank you, June.
No problem. My pleasure.
And I hope you all enjoyed learning about Things We Never Got Over. Healing takes time, but so does love. A tale of our time. And we'll see you next time. You're listening to Radio Taiwan International.